everyone. Today's lesson is about buttons. So today we're going to talk about the different types of buttons. We already did used one of them, but like the submit one, but we're going to talk about others today. Okay, now in a form, let me just create a couple of input text fields in a form so we can work from that point. So this is a text field. Let me just go here and make put a name. Let's say I'm gonna say first name, and then I'm going to put here the placeholder, and in the placeholder I'm say enter first name. Okay, so that's the field. Then I'm gonna put a BR to make separator, and then I'm gonna put another input here, and this time it's still a text. And over here I'm gonna put a name attribute. Oops, no, it's right there. I'm gonna put a name attribute, and this time the name I'm gonna say last name, and a placeholder as well, placeholder, and in the placeholder I'm going to say enter last name. Okay, then I'm going to put a separator or line break as well. Okay, and what else? Then I put the submit button that we all know that we did before. Okay, input, and this time I'm gonna call it submit. I pick the submit time. Okay, now when I save, and it's gonna look like this. So we have a two input field, the enter your first name and enter last name in the placeholder, and then submit. Now it's kind of like let me just make one more BR, so this way it's gonna be much better, looks much better. I like to have some space since we have space. Yeah, that looks much better. So the submit button, and this submit button, by the way, you can change its value, but so I can put a value here, can put a value attribute, and then instead of call submit, maybe I call it login, something like that. Then I save, and then I reload, so it's gonna be login. Or I can call it send. Okay, send. So you can just change the value. It's up to you. You can change the value. But even if you don't have any value attribute, you don't have to use the value attribute. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be submit. So this is one type of buttons that we know. There is another type of buttons also that is, let me just put it here on the top, or let me just put it here under the submit actually. I'm gonna say input, and this time just the type is button actually. And if I save that way without having the value attribute and reload, you notice here is just a button next to the submit but doesn't have any label. So that's a normal button. You can use it within a form, inside a form, or outside a form. So, and we will learn later how to program that button actually to do something. But leaving that button that way with no label, that makes no sense. So you have to put a label. To put a label here, we need, let me just separate. Oh no, it's okay. To put a label, I just have to use the value attribute. The value attribute, okay? And then I can say maybe click. So now when you reload that, it says click. So we're adding a label. So the submit button, you don't have to put a value attribute. You don't have to use the value attribute, but a normal button, you must use a value attribute. Otherwise, it's gonna be just a button with nothing, with no label. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? Now, there is a third type of button, which is what? Which is the reset. And the reset button, oh, by the way, you do, this click, this what you type here in the value, it doesn't have to be, you can type anything, just in English, Chinese, Arabic, whatever. So let me just put a, let me just put a couple of thing here for you guys to see that. Okay, a couple of other buttons here. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and then I'm gonna add them over here. After that, click. Okay. Okay, let me format that. And then, so this is two different buttons with different language actually. So you can do that by just, see here, this is submit, click in English, click in Chinese, click in Arabic, it doesn't matter. You can put any language here. So whatever you put in the value attribute here is going to appear on the button. But okay, I just wanted to show you, just delete that. So go back to our normal thing with just the click. A third type of button we want to have here is the reset. Okay, the reset here, reset. And again, the reset, you don't have to have a value or any other attribute. You just say reset and you save and you reload, and it has its own label, reset. Now the submit and the reset must be used within a form because it's programmed already, it's pre-programmed. What those two buttons are doing for us, let's see, let's go through an example. So it says enter a first name. I'm gonna enter a first name here. Okay, let me say Tom, and enter a last name. Let me say Smith. Okay, and then as soon I want you to look at the URL here. I'm gonna submit. So once you submit, it says first name Tom and last name Smith. This is actually, when you submit, this is what's going to be submitted to the back-end programmer, or going to be sent to the server or sent to the back-end programmer. Okay, so this is what the submit is doing. But let's do it one more time for, okay, so I'll put it Tom and I'll put it Smith again here. The reset button, let's see what the reset button is going to do. When you click on the reset, you're just going to clear the to field. It's clearing the to field. So that way is the whole form. Actually, if you have a whole form and then you click on the reset, regardless of how many fields you have, even if you have like 100 fields, by just clicking the reset, that's gonna reset all the input field. And again, you can put any value here. Let's say you don't want to reset, you want to put a value, a different value or a different label, you just put clear. I can do that. So that will be, rather than reset, it's going to be clear, but it's going to do the same, it's going to function the same exact way as reset. When you just type anything here, type anything, and then you type anything over here and you hit the clear button, it's going to clear this. So basically, guys, those are the three types of buttons that we know so far, and two of them must be used within a form, and the third one you can use outside a form. The submit and reset within a form, and the button, normal button, outside a form. And we'll learn how to program that, because the submit and reset is pre-programmed already. The button is not programmed. We're gonna do this through the programming portion of it when we start doing the JavaScript. That's all what I want you to know for today's lesson, and I will see you guys next lesson. See you.